The deaths of 2 NASCAR drivers in the United States again let us know just how dangerous motor racing can be. On the positive side, several teams for the upcoming Shell Australian Touring Car Championship had their final hit-out in preparation for next Sunday's first round at Sydney's Amaroo Park. Andy Raymonds takes a closer look at the week that was.
NASCAR fans in the United States are mourning the death of veteran driver Neil Bonnet, killed last weekend following a high-speed crash. Unfortunately, the news hasn't improved, with yet another death in their ranks. 33-year-old Rodney Orr died from massive head and upper body injuries after his Ford Thunderbird flipped during practice. Lucky to escape serious injury was Mark Thompson. Thompson amazingly only suffered broken ribs and concussion after being shunted by Michael Dawkin in this horrific high-speed up and under.
The car was starting to get a little loose, and I tried to take it easy, but the car kept getting looser and looser, and it came off the turn 2, hit the wall. And then when it hit the wall, it came back down off the track, and then the green car hit my left front, and it started flipping, and I could see sheet metal and stuff flying all over the place. I'm all right, and hopefully the other guy's okay.
And the spills continue. A Turn 4 bingle involving over a dozen cars left this field somewhat depleted. A very lucky escape for one driver who, after arriving late on the scene, found himself jumping one too many safety fences. But what's causing these crashes? Some people are blaming the tyres used. 3 out of the 4 major spills this week, the cars were on Hoosier tyres, but in pit lane, the drivers were still undecided.
Really, it hasn't been a tire problem. If it was a tire problem, the tires would be blowing out or they'd be falling off these cars. Then you could call it a tire problem.
I think it was the wind. Something maybe nobody else has told you, but both days we had a 30-knot gust of wind over here in turn 3 and 4 when Neil had his accident.
On a brighter note, last year's top rookie Jeff Gordon won the Busch Classic, the lead-up race for the prestigious Daytona 500.
I wasn't about to go out there and run in the back. I mean, I wanted to run that thing up the front. They tell me you got to run hard to win the Busch Clash.
And the NASCARs at Melbourne's Calder Park Thunderdome. 5 leading drivers were put to the rear of the field before the green flag for disobeying regulations. Some of the less experienced drivers pushed a little too hard in the early stages of the race. Several yellow flags were produced by officials because of the accidents, while the bad boys were making their way to the front of the field. Defending champion Max Dumsney experienced major problems following an incident. The Valvoline car looked set to sit out the remainder of the race. The war up front was intense. Barry Graham, George Elliott and Walter Giles battled for the majority of the 250-kilometre race. Former champion Elliott took the checkered flag despite 80 laps without a clutch for his first victory at the Thunderdome. Second Graham and third Giles. And in the 200-kilometre Oscar race, the pressure was on defending champion Bradley Jones, who only managed to qualify on the 3rd row. His most dangerous challenges would come from John Faulkner and Terry Wyhoon. But the top guns were forced to wait as some of the backmarkers found the going a little tough. Jones and Faulkner swapped the lead on numerous occasions. The dice up front would keep their panel beaters busy. By race end, Faulkner had done enough to finish ahead of Jones and prove they certainly know how to celebrate. Also plenty happening on the touring car scene as the countdown continues for round number 1 of the series at Sydney's Amaroo Park. Wayne Gardner Racing was officially launched during the week. The former 500cc World Motorcycling Champion is joined by Neil Crompton in the Coca-Cola-backed 2 Commodore team for 94. And Gardner declares they will be a force.
The whole thing's gone very well. I'm very proud of the whole thing. And as you can see, here it is. I think it's I really wanted to make it the biggest and best of the whole thing and really show the Australian touring car scene how it's done in this country.
Testing continued north of the border for Dick Johnson's Shell Racing team. The 2 Falcon team remains unchanged for 94. And 2-litre campaigner Tony Longhurst has changed his tune for the coming season. The Queenslander has a pair of Larry Perkins-built Commodores for 94. Joining Longhurst in the 5-litre category is youngster Paul Morris, who looked sharp around the Lakeside circuit in his Diet Coke V8. And something different at Big Lake, Alaska. The wind chill was 40 below, but even that wasn't enough to chill the anticipation of the Snowmobile Classic.
Yeah, we're pumped up. It's going to be a long one.
My nerves been going for the last week or so.
You know, I've done it for 10 years now. This will be the 11th year, and I think it'd be easier and easier, but it never gets any easier. I swear you work right up to the last minute every year.
The race has few rules, but it's important to remember the ones there are.
Going through the villages, slow down. There's kids and old people out there. Don't hit them.
Andy Raymond reporting for Sportsworld.